Ladies and gentlemen, Lab Productions, a nonprofit foundation in Provo, Utah, proudly presents the Sons of Mosiah back on Earth. And here to start things off, the most beautiful person in the entire world. Here's Alan Cherry. Let's hear it for him.
Thank you. Thank you. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, spare no applause. Spare no applause. Just applaud away. Chap your hands if you have to. You may happen to give my ego an unneeded boost, but you certainly keep me from perspiring. But as I look around here tonight, as I look at this large and beautiful audience, I think something's wrong. Yes, I do. I think you're missing something. You there, in the blue suit. When's the last time you had a can of moose-faced chili? Well, that's too long, brother. And sisters. You all need moose-faced chili. Out west, we never go anywhere now without moose-faced chili. Put some more dips in your hips, more cut in your strut, and more glide in your stride. Moose-faced chili. Yes, sir. Boy, you better get some. What makes you feel good inside? Matter of fact, I want to tell you about a girl that looked like moose-faced chili. Yes, she did. Boy, she was whipped. How I got involved with her is classical. All you guys in the audience, I want you to pay close attention, because if it hasn't happened to you yet, it may happen. And all you guys in the audience who it has happened to, I want you to pay attention so that you can watch out and so that you can moan with me as I tell you about this story. Because this is true. I wish it was a lie. I wish it was a lie, but it's true. You see, I had to go to a dance with a girl that looked like moose-faced chili sounds. She looked like a blown-out tire tube. That's how bad she was. Now, you think I'm elaborating, but I'm not. What happened was everybody has a mother that has a friend that she hasn't seen since high school. You know, they were buddies. And they always have a daughter. And the daughter is the only one that ever sees you in high school. You know, you're the only one. 5,000 other guys in high school, and you're the only one. And she calls her mother. She says, "Hey, Mom, I want to go to the sweetheart dance with him. See if you can fix it up." And you know what happens. Next thing I come home, you know, just breezing around the house. "Son, I want you to take Phoebe to the sweetheart dance." Ma, you're not talking about Phoebe Esmeralda? Tulip? Her, Ma? No, I can't do that, Ma. "Son, I want you to do it." "Ma, I can't do that. Think of what the guys would do. When I got to school, the guys would tell me about, no, Ma, I can't do that." "Son, she's a friend of mine. I'm depending on you, son, I promise. You've got to." So I got slick. I figured it out. I said, well, if I keep pushing it, I'll blow it all. I'll lose my allowance, lose the car privileges, lose everything. But if I call her and chew her out, if I call her and cut her into little pieces, break her down to her essential elements, if I do that and then ask her, "Do you want to go to the dance with me?" what can she say but no? She's got to say no. So I called her. I rang up the phone. "Hello, Phoebe? Phoebe, do you know you're ugly? Phoebe, do you know that even the word ugly doesn't describe you? You're oogly." That's right, oogly. "Phoebe, I want you to know that if we were the last two people on the earth, I'd wake up because I know it was a bad dream. Phoebe, I want you to know that if your IQ was 5 points higher, you'd be a plant. And Phoebe, if ugliness was snow, you'd be a walking blizzard." Phoebe, do you want to go to the dance with me tonight? Sweetheart dance, huh? Do you want to go? And here's what she said. Sure, honey. Honey, I go anywhere with you because even when you're insulting, you're delicious. Boy, she pops gum delightfully. Look, she's blushing now. But Phoebe, it was a horrid experience. I tell it now and I smile. Every audience I see, I get the tremors because I get the feeling that she's going to come out of the stage and come backstage and meet me after the show. But really, Phoebe was ugly. No fooling, folks. She was ugly. But there are beautiful people in the world. Beautiful, maybe not so much in facial expression, but beautiful in the way they act. Like the sons of Mosiah. Now these men were once called vile men, but the men did something with their lives. They turned their lives around. They went and did missionary work. They charged themselves up. But really, when you look at it, possibly what we might see is that they realized that they were masterpieces and that they had been playing live like they were worth a dime or something. But now they realized that they were priceless, and they decided to live that way. And they had a ball with missionary work. The whole missionary air was around in Zarahemla, the excitement. But, now suppose, just suppose, some of the fellows, one for instance, one of the old buddies that used to hang out with the sons of Mosiah and all that riotous living. Suppose that guy was away, hunting or something. And suppose he came back to Zarahemla. What do you think he'd find? He'd find other chaos. He'd find missionary spirit. And he'd probably go up to one of his old buddies that was probably shaking like a leaf and ask for an explanation. And I think it goes something like this. Okay, on the outskirts of Zarahemla, coming on to the outskirts of Zarahemla, in Zarahemla. Oh, hi, how you doing, man? Hey, man, what's happening? Haven't seen you in a long time, baby. Whew. Where's the parties tonight? Man, you don't look so good. Oh, look here. Tell me, Sons of Mosiah still making that strong drink? Man, what's wrong with you? You look bad. Oh, I got it. We're still going down on Sunday, aren't we? And throwing stones at those church people, huh? No? Man, what's wrong with you? Man, you better speak up. Man, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And then his friend hysterically would probably say something like this. Man, you don't understand. The sons of Mosiah, they got baptized, man. They went all around Zarahemla. Baptizing people. They broke up the whole gang, man. Nobody hangs out anymore. And you know what, man? They got excited and everything. And they went down to the land of Nephi and they baptized people. They're down there now. And you know what we heard? You know what we heard on the grapevine? We heard that they're coming back. They're coming back this way with 5,000 Lamanites. And you know what they say? You know what the people are saying? All those church people laughing at us? They're saying that if you can convert 5,000 Lamanites, you know what you can do with a wayward Nephite. And man, I ain't hanging around here any longer. I'm making it, man. I'm getting out of here. I always knew he was a yo-yo. Couldn't hang out on all. Probably somebody's cousin, yeah, man. Boy. Oh, here comes Alma now. I'll ask him. Hey, Alma, what's going on tonight, baby? Open house? That's a weird kind of sounding party, man. No, I'm not doubting you. I'm coming. Hey, well, what you gonna have, man? What kind of strong drink? That grape stuff? Soft drink? No, I'm not doubting you. Just prove I'm going now. I'll go now. I'll see you tonight, man. Okay? Take care. And he starts scooting down the road. But he realizes, man, he's been up by the land of desolation hunting. And anyone who's been hunting knows that you don't go to a party with hunting clothes on. And that smell? No. So he decides to come back and ask, what should he wear? Okay. Alma! What should I wear tonight, man? Oh, Alma was hip. Alma was slick. He had his missionary mind on. Alma replied, just wear all white. Yeah, well. You're not gonna smile? Okay. I wish we all had a mind like Alma's. I wish we had a missionary mind, that we could do a lot. 3 men I'm going to introduce right now are 3 of the exciting men of the Sons of Mosiah. There's Lynn Bryson, formerly 10 years a disc jockey. There's Moose Harris, affectionately known as Dwayne Harris. To all you young girls in the back, Moose is going on a mission, but Moose has a mustache which he must get rid of before his mission. And you can't see Moose's mustache because it's pale. So I want you to know that Moose has a mustache, so strain your eyeballs because you won't see it anyway. And then we have our man, the guy with the coat rack shoulders, we call Jose. And you'll find out why we call him Jose. So I'm going to introduce you to them right now. I'm going to bring them out. But before I do, I want to warn you that before I ever come back in these here parts, I want you to get hold of some of that moose face cheering. Thank you.
Have you ever felt like you could see 1,000 miles or maybe more? La 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 la. Standing on a mountain as you watched the sunset sit upon some shore. La 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 la. Well, you told yourself it was not real, but your heart could not conceal it so. Mama, you let go. Friendship overwhelmed you when you found out that all around you angels were hiding in the breeze, putting you at ease. La 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 la. Have you ever felt so all alone? Not a soul cared who you are. La 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 la. Standing by your window, you transfix your gaze on a solitary star. La la la. Well, you told yourself it was not real, but your heart could not conceal it so. Mama, you let go. Friendship overwhelmed you when you found out that all around you angels were singing in the breeze. Angels putting you at ease. La 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 la. was not real, but your heart could not conceal it. So, mama, you let go. Friendship overwhelmed you when you found out that all around you angels were singing in the breeze, putting you at ease. La 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 la.
That's a song we wrote, and the essential part of the lyrics is that angels are in the breeze. At Brigham Young University, there's a problem caused by the fact that there are 25,000 students there now at BYU, of which over half are girls. Now, the real...
Not a problem.
Not a problem for him, you see, because he teaches at the language training mission. He's not a student there. And if you're familiar with the problems at BYU, you know that the students at the language training mission are all, every last one of them, are missionaries that haven't been sent yet, that are there learning foreign languages, see? Well, the problem is that while you're on a mission, you have to stay arm's length away from girls, right? And if there's 18,000 beautiful co-eds within reach, it's difficult to follow that rule, at least in your mind. And see, while listening to the radio a few years ago, thinking about this problem, I heard a song by Jay and the Americans that epitomized the situation very cleverly. All I had to do was just change a couple lyrics over here and there. It was a song about a guy who went south of the border, and while in a cantina there, he saw this girl that kept making eyes at him, see? And somebody says, don't go near her, she belongs to Jose. Well, to the 2,000 guys at the LTM, the Language Training Mission at BYU, Brigham Young University, all 18,000 of those girls belong to Jose. My name's Jose.
One day as I was eating ice cream at the Wilkinson Center, she was sitting there giving me looks that turned my ice cream to water. Started walking her way, my companion jumped in the way. You fool, the mission rules, he muttered as I heard her say, hey, 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 come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man. So big and so strong, come a little bit closer. I'm all alone, and the night is so long.
One more time.
Hey, hey, hey. Well, she wanted to dance, and her arms, they looked so inviting. I resisted, though twisted so bad that I started crying. Then I heard my companion say, uh-oh, supervising elders on his way. Uh-oh. Then I knew, yes I knew I should run when I heard her say, hey, 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 come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man. So big and so strong, come a little bit closer. I'm all alone, and the night is so long.
One more time.
Well, then the music stopped and I looked, the center was empty. I could hear my supervising elder say, "Man, you're in trouble plenty." So I dropped my Book of Mormon from my hand, laid down my flannel board and ran. But when I turned to see, there was she with my SE. Hey, 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 come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man. So big and so strong, come a little bit closer. I'm all alone, and the night is so long.
One more time.
Hey, 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 do it again. Hey, 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 da 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 da.
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce the other two guys standing beside me. This one is the one that's Moose. He's the one with the mustache that you can't see. The one time you can really see it, I'll tell you when that is when he eats a bowl of chocolate pudding. And this is Jan Dalby. He's known as Jose on the BYU campus. All the girls really are really after Jan, but the only problem was, when he was born, he had a real bad problem with ugliness. When he was born, his dad took one look at him and said, "Take him back, please." And his mother said, "What do you mean take him back? I did a lot of work to get that kid here. I mean, after all, what reason do you have?" And he says, "Look, I ain't keeping no kid who looks exactly like a Volkswagen with both doors open." Before we do the next number, I want to tell you just one story about DeWin. He's a very bashful child. DeWin goes on a mission next September, that is if they call him. And he's doing his best to stay chaste, that is, like impure. But it isn't really a problem for DeWin, you see, because he doesn't really have a very bad problem with girls, you see, because it isn't that they don't love him and all that. It's just that he's really bashful. The other night, he came in to a practice, he's Lynn. He's just pale white. He says, "Really bad problem tonight." I said, "What's that?" He said, "I was out real late last night with this girl. Real late. We were out till at least 8:30. And he says, I was reaching over just to hold her hand. She kept slapping my hand. Just kept reaching over. She kept slapping, reaching over. She kept slapping, reaching over. She kept slapping. Pretty soon her dad come out the front door, plunged across the front yard, ripped open the car door, looked at me and says, "Moose, I'll teach you to make love to my daughter." And he looked up and said, "I sure wish you would. I ain't getting anywhere." Well, just one more line before we get into the next song. While we're on the subject of BYU and girls and ugliness and all that sort of thing, and love and marriage and that, BYU is referred to as the marriage mill. That reminds me of this poem, which I made up. It says, "Peter Piper, pumpkin eater, had an ugly daughter and didn't want to keep her. So he put her in a pumpkin shell, whereupon the judge promptly fined him $500 and said, 'Good heavens, man, you could at least send her to BYU. Anybody can get married there.'" That's not necessarily true. These guys have been there for years. Ladies and gentlemen, times are tough. It's a very serious song called "Be Not Moved." Joseph Smith saw a couple of visions, and it looks like they're beginning to happen. Our Constitution hangs by a thread, and isn't that something Brother Joseph said a long time ago? Black and white have begun to riot. Joseph saw that vision too, and he said it made his blood run cold. You've got to hear me, youth of Zion. You've got to know what to do. The time has come for you to stand in holy places and be not moved. Be not moved. You see, fear has gripped what's left of the heart of man. Hundreds of thousands of people popping pills to the beat of a rock and roll band. The choice is placed before you, babes. Come on, somebody's got to make it, and make it clear. You see, because if you're going to be on the winning side, then brother, you decide this year. Or are you going to just procrastinate the date of your salvation like the rest of this once great nation, and you can just live for today? Certainly. But living in sin can be so tough. Living in sin is judgment enough, and the sinful don't need a judgment day. They've had it. Hear me, youth of Zion. You gotta know what to do. You see, the time has come for you to stand in holy places and be not moved. Be not moved. Well, in a minute we'll be off this stage, and you'll all be home once more. Tonight, before you hit your sack, why don't you close your bedroom door? Tell the man you got the message, and this time you got it loud and clear. Say you decided you want to be on the winning side. Say you decided and say, send some help. You hear?
You got to hear me, you thug of Zion. You better know what to do. You see, the time has come for you to stand in holy places and be not moved. Be not moved. Be not moved. Be not moved.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a great big round of applause, will you up-tempo your applause just a little bit and bring on back Mr. Alan Cherry. We go through this every night. He wants to play the bongos. I can tell by the way he picked them up. Al, is that what you're going to do?
Been intending.
There's only one solution we've been able to reach at this point, and that is does anybody in the audience know how to play the bongos? He doesn't. He can't keep a steady tempo if his life depends. Go ahead, hit me 4 counts. Listen to this. Hit 4 counts in that tempo. Go. No. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Hit all 4 of them. That's 2 of them. Now get. See,
Mother Hannah's here.
I know, that's a problem. You can't sing and play the bongos at the same time. Is there anybody in the audience who can play the bongos? Anybody you would like to see play the bongos? Look at everybody pointing at everybody else. Point me out somebody that's really good on the bongos. Anywhere right here in the front couple of rows. Right there. In the white. Him. He's the one. That's the one I can tell by the look. Yeah, you. Beat him any old way and it'll be better than Al does it, okay? Okay, right there. You want to carry him while you plant him, or you just want to hold it on the floor?
Hold on the floor.
What's your name?
Brian
Brian what?
Meacham,
Brian Meacham. Round of applause. Where are you from?
Maryland.
Is that? Right. He could have been from Virginia, you know. What now?
Actually, I get stage fright.
Actually, you get stage fright. Well, that's too. How old are you, Brian?
9.
Brian Meacham, 9 years old, from Maryland, who gets stage fright. Round of applause. Put him over in the middle. Okay. Right, he's right. He'll do it.
Just keep your knees behind the drum, Brian.
Stand right here, right. Okay. Is that going to make it?
Yeah.
Move over just a little bit more.
If you get scared, just touch my knees. And when you find out they're shaking faster than yours, don't worry about it. Just keep getting up. That's all.
Have you people ever seen a knee fight? Look down there. Hey, just play a steady beat. That's it.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the tree. Oh yes, well I guess you would say, what can make me feel this way? My girl,
My girl, my girl.
talking about my girl, my girl. I've got so much honey, the bees envy me. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the tree. Makes me say, I guess you'd say, what can make me feel this way? My girl,
My girl, my girl.
talking about my girl, my girl. Hey girl, I want you to know I'm going to miss you so much if you go. And hey girl, now sit yourself down. I'm not ashamed to get down on the ground and beg you to stay. Don't go away, my girl.
I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. Hold that thing.
Sugar pie, honey bunch.
Sugar pie.
You know that I love you. Oh, I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else.
I know.
Oh, sugar pie, honey bunch.
Sugar pie.
You know that I'm weak for you. I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else.
Nobody else.
Burning in my heart, tear it all apart. No matter how I try, no loving can I find. Oh, deep within my soul, I know I've lost control. Oh, sugar pie, honey bunch. I'm weaker than a man should be. Oh, I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. Sugar pie, honey bunch. Do anything you ask me to. I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else.
Nobody else. Come on, Brian. Play that drum, my girl. Come on, Brian. My girl.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the tree. I guess you'd say, what can make me feel this way? My girl,
My girl, my girl.
talking about my girl, my girl. I guess you might say, what can make me feel this way? My girl,
My girl, my girl.
talking about my girl, my girl.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Brian Meacham there from Maryland. 6 years old? How old are you? You're 9? 9 years old. You married yet? Got plenty of takers down in the audience, I know, for sure. Thanks very much, Brian. We appreciated having you around. Comes another serious point in our program, ladies and gentlemen. The world is at trial right now because there are so many questions before it that people cannot answer. The Mormon Church is at trial because a lot of people have a lot of misunderstanding. So the Sons of Mosiah would like to take a moment right now and put Mr. Alan Cherry on trial. Mr. Cherry, will you take the witness stand, please? Mr. Cherry, we understand that you're a Mormon Negro, is that right?
Well, it's possible, but according to the latest Huntley-Brinkley report about Negroes at Big BYU, there's only one named Ron Knight, excuse me. So I don't exist anyway.
That leaves the court a little perplexed, Mr. Cherry. Is it true that you are a Mormon Negro? Answer directly.
Yes.
I understand that the Mormon religion bars Negroes from the priesthood. Is that correct?
Yes.
Isn't this a racist and bigoted practice, Mr. Cherry? And if so, Why would any Negro want to belong to a church full of racism and bigotry? Mr. Cherry, the time is now yours.
Thank you. First, I'd like to say that what do these words mean to you? Power, pride, position, prominence. Now, to the world at large, it means a very great deal. It means almost everything, that a man have power, that a man have pride in his job, in his church position, in his family, that a man be prominent. These things mean an awful lot. To most people, to operate without these things would be being stripped, literally stripped, of your weapons that you need to survive as a man. In answer to Lynn's question, or the question that is generally posed probably to me, or if it isn't posed, that is in most people's minds, I'd say this. For me personally, I had no choice. When I asked this question, which church is the right church? And I prayed about it, I received one answer: the Mormon Church. That's why I am a Mormon, simply because I consider myself nothing more than another truth seeker. And this is the only framework in which I can operate and have the literal guarantee that sometime in the future I will be just like Heavenly Father if I desire it. That this is the format, this is the framework that will fit, that was made to fit every individual. So let me go on and say further that for most people, when they consider the Mormon Negro question, they consider this, that it must be hideous. Really, it must be hideous to ask a black man to take a subservient position to somebody else. You know, it's got to be bad. No other church in Christendom does it, in the United States at least, as far as we know. This Mormon church, it must be awful. I'd like to present this to you, to non-members, to priesthood bearers, and the wives and the potential wives of priesthood bearers. You show me the priesthood calling that can function within a man without the Spirit of the Lord, energizing that very same priesthood. And then I will think that I've been denied an awful lot. See the Spirit of the Lord. What is that? It's that very thing that Christ had, the very thing that Paul had after his vision. And what did it do for Paul? Give Paul the priesthood when he was persecuting the Christians. And what would he have been? What would you be in that situation? But with the priesthood and the Spirit of the Lord, the two together make a thoroughly powerful force. And I consider it something like a work permit. You know, there's a yard here. You've been assigned to work in this side of the yard. I haven't. Have I been denied the Spirit? Well, this will be plain for you to see from the outside. It'll be plain for me to feel on the inside. I don't think so. The opportunity is still there. It's real. It's alive. And I want to take advantage of it. But what I want to leave with you is that this whole question, the validity of it in your own minds, not on paper. I'm not trying to convince you or persuade you, but just trying to share with you this one thing, that the Mormon Negro question, or the doctrine in question, depends on one thing: the truthfulness of this church. Is it true? Is it a church founded upon divine authority with Christ at the head of the church in constant communion with our prophet and leader? Or is it just another organization that just has another beautiful scheme to perpetrate on the public and take us for a long ride? Really, it's up to the individual to decide. It's not a matter of pushing it off on you. But unless you've come to the point where you've asked that question, is this the true church? And you want to know in no uncertain terms for yourself, individually, personally, then you've come to the point where you know whether the doctrine or doctrines of the church are wrong or right altogether. For if you found that this is the truth, if you prayed, if you asked God about it, then you'll know that with God, He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There's no division. It's all. He's total. If one doctrine is good, they're all good. If one's bad, they're all bad. No mixing. I share with you my knowledge. I know it's true. I don't feel inferior. Matter of fact, I'll share with you my dilemma most of my time now is I've got too much, more than I see in some other people. Not potential I'm speaking about, sometimes performance. Sometimes it hurts me to see some priesthood holders not perform like they should when they have it and I don't. My knowledge has been expanded. It's been expanded to encompass not just this day, today, but it's been expanded to encompass tomorrow and tomorrow's tomorrows and yesterday's yesterdays. So I know by the virtue of revelation what is true. It won't mean anything to you until you know, till you've exercised that same right and found out what is true. I leave you this testimony in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Eternal mostly because they deal with the eternity and where we spend it. The question that's been posed is whether or not this church is founded on revelation or whether or not it's founded on the beliefs of men. Whether or not some committee got together and decided the doctrines we believe, and we can change them with that same committee, or whether or not God actually runs this church. One way you can find out is look to the words of the present prophets. There was a prophet who passed away 5 weeks ago. It'd be hard to say we didn't love him. Especially because of the things that he taught us. He taught us about family home evening. He taught us about home teaching. He taught us about dress standards. And a lot of other things that make us love him. The question is, did he make up all those doctrines, issues? Or did Jesus the Christ speak to him in a room called the Holy of Holies in the Salt Lake City Temple? Which room is for that purpose? And is he really a prophet of God? Well, as a seminary teacher in Southern California, President Barrett came down to talk to us. He said, tell the youth of the church that Jesus is aware of the sacrifices they make in going to early morning seminary, each and every one. And this is one way the youth of the church can show that they love the Lord. Who said that? William Barrett, David O. McKay, or Jesus Christ? It was something that was said out loud about 2 years ago. Picture, if you will, Brother David and Brother Jesus trying to solve our problems as they meet face to face in a song called David Tell Them.
David, tell them they should sit by their mothers one night a week. Then through their fathers I can speak. Tell them two by two to visit each other one night a month, with a blessing from the father of their ward. Tell my young ones I know they're sleepy in the morning, but at early morning seminary, it's nice to know they adore me. Tell every member of his house a missionary meeting place to make for the blessing of their Father and their Lord. David, talked to my young men who have filled a mission. Talk to the ones who think they've got it made. David, tell them 2 short years on a mission shouldn't make them think that their debt is paid. Talk to my young ladies at my high schools, junior highs, and universities. Oh, it's nice to see them look so pretty, but remind them to remember who they walk before each day. Some of them aren't dressing just for me. Talk to the children of rebellion who compare my hair, theirs to justify. But you heed not your counsel, David, that's forbidden. If they become children of rebellion, then they'll surely die. Tell them they should sit by their mothers one night a week. Then through their fathers I can speak. Tell every member of his house a missionary meeting place to make for the blessing of their Father and their Lord. La la la, la la la, la la la. And David, tell them I love them. The next song is about another prophet. And this will be our last contribution, and just before we get on to the next section of the program, which I'm sure you're going to enjoy. There was a man who walked the streets of a small town in Midwestern America 100 or so years ago. They said he was too much of a boy to be a man. He'd walk down the street and he'd have a coat over one arm and books in the other arm, and he'd see some kids playing, and he'd stop, a bunch of little 6-year-old girls playing hopscotch or something, and say, "Hold it just a minute, I got a game to win." And he'd shove aside his books and his coat and he'd play hopscotch to win. And if he lost, he'd doff his hat and say, "Thank you, ladies, I'll win tomorrow." Then take his books and his coat and walk on down the street, too much of a boy to be a man. And then walk up to a pulpit and become too much of a man to be a boy. He'd say things like this: "Brothers and sisters, you know, they say my visions have been nothing more than epileptic fits, and that I've never really seen God the Father and His Son Jesus Christ. Well,
I guess that means we're all going to hell, huh? Because if I'm a false prophet and you follow me, guess what? We're all going to go to hell for sure. He says, okay, let's all go to hell, assuming that those people were right and that I'd never seen God. Let's go to hell, all of us. But because of what we are, you and me, we can go to the same corner there in hell. And because of what we are, we'll make a heaven out of it. And with that attitude, he lived. And with that attitude, he died. Very, very young. He was cut down, you might say, in the prime of his life. How he died is recorded in the Doctrine and Covenants this way. Angels were standing, weeping by my bed. Doctrine and Covenants, section 135, I read about 200 faces painted black at 5 o'clock. 4 gentle brothers bracing for a shock. Hiram was the first to fall, calmly like a lamb. His eyes were filled with tears. He whispered, I am a dead man. Joseph through the window fell, his body jerked with pain. He cried, oh Lord, my God, as the lead hit him again and again and again. La, la, la. Dragging off their bodies, the devil's filthy crew. 4 times each they shot them both, and then they flew. Laughingly they caused to fall a man who just asked us all to stand. Laughingly they condemned the nation, a people and the land. And actually we do the same thing when we refuse to say to our neighbors, we have got another living prophet named Joseph today. But a very interesting part of the program right now, we had a conversation with Brother LeGrand Richards just before coming out here and discussed with him some very interesting things, such as, we said, Brother Richards, we found it very advantageous in the shows that we've been doing to use 2 fellas who wear their hair down to here. And we'd like to know what you think about it. And he says, well, Lynn, do you feel that they're really doing you a service? And I said, yes, because there are youth in the church who are becoming disassociated, who are leaving the church. And at some of these shows, like in Southern California particularly, they've come right up out of the audience afterward, walked right past me because I wore short hair, walked right to the guys with long hair, reach in their pockets and pull out drugs, hand them to them and say, we're never touching them again. We've had testimonials from stake presidents to the way that these fellows are able to reach the youth. And so for the youth, here's a very special part of the show. Brother Richard said, well, let's look at it this way. It's like Benjamin Franklin said, in the fads that outrage the public, like long hair, I suppose you could say, never be the first to give in and go along with it, nor the last. Either way, you look bad. He says, in a few years, we'll all be wearing beards again. And Brother LeGrand is right. It's an interesting thing what these fellows have been able to do now that they've joined the church. They both spent considerable time in the Haight-Ashbury district. Ron McNeely, for example, lived in the hippie commune that was written up in Life magazine recently. And Dave Zandonati was once with an acid rock group by the name of Moby Grape, which some of you guys I'm sure have heard about. And so the real Dave Zandonati and Ron McNeely, ladies and gentlemen, concluding their part of the program on the Sons of Mosiah back on earth.
nice to be here tonight. Really having fun traveling around with the Sons of Mosiah. Things we've been doing lately. I think these are the greatest guys in the world. I really think the world of them. This Alan Sheridan is really too much. I was talking to Alan this morning. He was telling me he's a little boy in grammar school up in Queens, New York. He said his parents used to always play tricks on him. He said, for instance, one day he came home from school and his parents had moved. So, yeah, right. We're going to present a little different part of the show tonight. A part that's a little more rock-oriented. David and I have gone through several years with different rock groups. Dave having played in Moby Grape, and I spent several years wandering up and down the streets of Haight-Ashbury with my guitar strung across my back. After having joined the church, Dave and I, still very much believing in this rock medium, have come to try something new. We're writing music and giving messages which we believe in now, having found the gospel. Tonight we'd like to explain some of the lyrics of our songs and tell you about some of the messages that we've put into the songs. First song we did is called Sunday the 3rd. It's a song about the coming of the millennium, about the 1,000 years peace that's about to happen to the earth. Sunday the 3rd, why is it called Sunday the 3rd? Well, we figured the millennium would come on a Sunday, like any day. It's always a good day for the millennium to come on. The 3rd, well, we looked around and saw how prevalent the number 3 was in the gospel, starting from 3 members of the Godhead, 3 members of the First Presidency, 3 members of the State Presidency, the bishopric, and everybody has 2 counselors, right? It's also the strongest figure, not only spiritually, but also physically. The triangle, for instance, is the strongest geometric form, and it is totally self-supported. The song goes on to tell independence can't find the yellow dog. This is refers to a prophecy Brigham Young made about Jackson County, the new Zion that is soon to be built on this earth. And before the temple is built and Zion is reestablished, he said that Zion will be wiped so clean of its iniquities that there won't be so much as a yellow dog to wag its tail. I got lucky when I found you, referring to the gospel. Before my eyes I saw the slate wiped clean. This refers to the principle of repentance, and how when you come into the gospel you can totally wipe out any iniquities from your past. The song goes on to tell of the time, the lateness of the hour, in other words. We end up saying it's 10 till 12. Now, if celestial time truly is 1 day to our 1,000 years, we figured in celestial time it's just about 10 till 12. We'll go through Sunday the 3rd one more time for you.
Thank you very much. About 3 years ago in Haight-Ashbury, Ron and I were together singing songs like we're singing now, except that our goals and our attitudes were different at the time. We were into the same kind of bag as a lot of the other rock groups that are on the scene today. That is, using heavy musicians, good musicians, playing rock music. But we seemed to be going the same direction as everyone else. And then all of a sudden, a change came about in our lives. We were introduced to and presented the gospel, and we accepted it. And after that time, it seemed that a whole course of events took place in our lives, which changed even the style of music that we were writing. The main thing that we want to get across, and that we have been talking about in our travels and touring around the country now with the Sons of Mosiah, is that we all, along with Alan Cherry, and I think I can speak for Lynn and the rest of the guys, are trying to get across the same point, is that this harmony and peace that's so much talked about and so much striven for in our lives can be had, and we can have it within our own hearts, but we have to know how to find the keys that unlock those little doors that make us have that joy. For we know that we were all created to have joy. And we've seen continued use of drugs and all kinds of abominable things happening on the earth right now. And in our travels, we've especially run across, not only in cities like this, but even small towns, little towns where they're having these same problems cropping up. And we feel that it's our duty, if we realize the things that are happening, to be able to speak out if we're put in the position to do it. And this is what we're trying to do. This is the purpose of our show. The next tune that we'd like to do is one about this love and charity that we should have with our fellow man. It's a tune called Friendly with Man. And we took this from a book that Ron and I had read at one time when a little kid expressed his desire, just a very beautiful statement. He expressed his desire and simply said, "Let me live in a house near the side of the road and be friendly with man."
How can I say, come with me, baby, in a monotone, hungry voice? The western plains will cross again upon the winds of change. Lord have mercy on the saints
Thank you very much. In the next song that we're going to do, we feel a very strong tendency to talk to some of the girls that we've met in our travels, because we've met a lot of girls that really aren't living any standards of morality at all. And this song is called Sweet Lily, and it talks about the stubble that's going to be burnt, and how when the separation comes, that some of these sweet lilies, some of these girls, if they're not careful, are going to be in this fire. And we're not saying like that we're more righteous and we have the right to preach down and talk, but we're just saying that like there's nothing we can do about it, it's just going to happen. We're just telling you like more or less where it's at. Sweet Lily.
Dave and I were able, as he said, to go back to San Francisco while still working with the company and be separate. Like a totally different outlook on life. And although we looked the same as everybody in San Francisco, with our long hair and our music and everything, when they passed around the dope to smoke, Dave and I would go down to the basement and have prayer or something. It was really beautiful because we were able to talk to the people. They identified with us and that we were somewhat the same as they were. If a missionary had come, a normal missionary had come to one of their homes and walked in a suit and tie and a crew cut with Elder Jones written on his coat, not too many of them would have listened, but they listened to Dave and I because we were part of them. And this is somewhat the same thing we're doing now. We've been able to reach a lot of kids that have been on drugs for a long time. The next song is about the corruption that we saw in this world. It's called Times and Seasons. We're talking to the people in the world that we'd left in the song. It starts out, so you think that you're the crown of creation, but you can't go on with your personal gain. because you're breaking laws from the very foundation, and your unclean living will make your children lame. It talks a little bit about, 3 points that we make at the end of the song about the sexual immorality that is becoming so prevalent. We use the word fornication. Second point is the drug abuse that, of course, is so prevalent. We see it around us all the time. And here we use a word that probably not many of you are familiar with. We use the word pharmakeia, which was in the original Greek Bible, and it's the root word for the word pharmaceutical, pharmacy, this type of thing. It was translated into the King James Version as sorcery. So when you read in your Bibles about the sorcerers and the whoremongers, when you see the word sorcerer, they're actually talking about drug users. The problem is centuries old, and we don't have any brand new monopoly on it today. It's been around for a long time. Last part of the song is Form a Child, talking about the illegitimate children that we saw being brought into life all around us when we were in this scene. And the last comment is, where's the fire? Or where's the spirit? What's the hurry? This type of thing.
Before we close, I'd just like to say that the things that we're doing now and the things that we feel now and the way that just our own bodies, our own physical bodies have become so much cleaner, it just makes me feel really good to be able to live certain laws and to obey certain commandments. And I don't know what to say except that I just feel really great, and I feel that in doing the things that we're doing, maybe we can help bridge a bit of the generation gap by not talking down on what the parents are doing, but furthering relationships between the parents and the kids. And I think that our principles, the principles that we all have in common, will help us to do this.
People get themselves into no way to support them when they come pushing through. Fornication, pharmakeia, form a child. Where's the fire?
love you
We just have a few more minutes to spend with you here in the Washington, D.C. area. It reminds me of a story. This little kid was in Provo, Utah, and he heard his mom and dad talking out in the hallway and heard them say something like, gee, where are we going to get $500 more? Fred's going to go on his mission. $500 has to come from somewhere. Maybe the Lord will help us. And the little Johnny in the bedroom said, aha, all right, I'll get that $500 for him. So he wrote a letter to God. Said, dear God, my brother Fred can't go on a mission unless you get $500 here right away in Provo, Utah. So he sent the letter to God, addressed it to God, put it in the post office box, and the thing wound up in the Postmaster General's office here in Washington, D.C., and he gave it to Richard Nixon and said, good grief, what are we going to do? We've already got a kind of a deficit spending thing going here. And President Nixon said, that's okay, send the kid $5. So the letter came back to Provo, Utah, and little Johnny opened the letter, and he saw that $5, and he looked at that for a minute, and he wrote another letter, said, dear God, next time you send me $500, don't send it by way of those politicians in Washington, D.C. They just took me for $495. Ladies and gentlemen, politicians may take you for a ride, but the Lord never does. And so for you kids, I want to tell you something. This church is going to be a leader 10 years from now in some fields that it hasn't really shown its face yet. It's like a colt that hasn't walked onto the racetrack yet. But when it does and wins races consistently, when the Mormon church has not just one group like the Sons of Mosiah, but 10 or 15 or 25, all with hit records in the top 5 nationally, and you say that it won't happen? Baloney. Any man and God comprise a majority in any battlefield. One man, one God, and that's it. And that goes for you and you and you. You can be anything you want to be. Tonight when you go home, say, dear God, I haven't really thought about it seriously before, but what I really want to be is, and then say, and then listen for a long time, and then say this, Lord, what do you want me to be? And guess what? If you and the Lord agree, guess what will happen to you? Nothing will be able to keep you from achieving that goal except you. We'd like to sing a song about this. I'd like to bear this testimony to you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. And with a round of applause, please bring on the Sons of Mosiah, because I'd like them to help me sing a song to you. Okay? Come on, dream the impossible dream that you're a god in your childhood below, and one day you'll be called everlasting by children who love you and know that you once were children like they, so lost and alone and afraid that no one could hear you when praying. But you'll hear those children like your Father today. So this is my quest to become a God. No matter how hopeless, no matter how hard, to forgive your sins and to overcome mine, to be able to love you no matter what color or kind. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my eyes will one day behold all my good Father's best. Then we'll see Brother Joseph again, that man who died, scorned and covered with scars.
You see, our Father heard him, and he can hear me and he'll hear you. He'll help us reach the unreachable star. So who are you? Really, think about it.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, so please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait, and you see. Another day goes by, still the children cry. Put the love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hate grow. Put the love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait, and you'll see. Wait and see. So when you look around, and if you're looking down, put the love in your heart. Yeah, I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put the love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait, and you'll see. People now, put the love in your heart each and every day. Put the love in your heart. It's the only way. Put the love in your heart. You ought to put the love in your heart. Got to put the love in your heart. One more time. Put the love in your heart. Put the love in your heart. You can do it if you try. Oh, come on and find out why. You can do it if you try. Just put your mind to it. I know you can do it. One more time. In your heart.
Did you enjoy it? Thank you very much. I know each of you expressed tonight in your applause the feelings in your heart. But I know a way that you can show gratitude to these fine men better than that. Don't let the emotion of this night leave as you walk out the door, but take the message with you that they have presented so effectively in such an interesting, entertaining way, and realize what you have or can have by living the gospel. I saw a side of this group tonight a little different than you did out front. I had the privilege of kneeling in prayer with them before they began their act. I saw them as they came off and helped each other, real brotherhood and love in their hearts. That's what this church is all about.